Hello and welcome to another episode of Erongo Talk. I am your host, Irene-Mari van der Walt, and today is Emoji Day. Can you see the resemblance? No? Okay. Anyway, today we'll be speaking with Monique English, a judge of the Voice Perfect Namibia competition, and Kuku V, a participant. We will also bring you the weather, news, tides, and upcoming events as we do every Friday. And then we will be showing you a place of interest in Swakopmund, and we will be playing out with a song by Joharetha. So stay tuned. We'll be right back. So in today's news, we find ourselves at the Blue Whale Boutique Hotel in Walvis Bay in their luxury suite. So we start off with comments from the Minister of Health and Social Services, Kalumbi Shangula. So we have repeatedly seen calls on Kalumbi Shangula from the general public, and most notoriously, would I say, from the Walvis Bay Urban Constituency Councillor Nology Pinge, for the Minister to personally visit Walvis Bay to assess the situation and to assess why measures the Ministry would be taking to curb the spread of the pandemic might not be the most effective, according to residents of Walvis Bay. So the Minister had quite a few choice comments. He was quoted in saying, "You are aware that no person is allowed to enter or leave the 3 local authority areas except for an emergency. Anybody who leaves the 3 local authority areas will be quarantined for a period of not less than 14 days, and that includes me. As the leader of the country's response unit to COVID-19, it will be irresponsible of me to abandon the team and go into quarantine at this critical time. Anybody of sound mind will not advocate for such a step." So the Minister then said that he has visited Walvis Bay twice before the lockdown and before the pandemic arose, and that he is currently making decisions and taking steps to curb the spread of COVID-19 in what he has called the epicenter of COVID-19 in Namibia, based on these prior visits. So he was also quoted in saying that Walvis Bay Urban Constituency Councillor Nology Pinge appeared to him as a fitting candidate for psychological therapy. So that is quite some choice words from the Minister of Health and Social Services. In other COVID-19 related news, in the past week we have seen the lobbying of the burial of the first COVID-19 death in Namibia at Walvis Bay. So a lot of people were upset by this, and they've started a petition that had just over 1,000 signatures by last night. So a lot of people are upset by it, and they were lobbying and they were petitioning. But the truth is that this plot of land had been earmarked in 2017 to become a burial site. In 2019, it got the environmental certificates and clearances to become a burial site. So the burial site was not yet completed, and it was rushed for the sake of this COVID-19 death. I think there's also quite a lot of misconception as to how a person who dies of COVID-19 is buried. It is a little bit more dignified. This burial of our first COVID-19 death was quite a bit more dignified than we are seeing in the rest of the world, given that the family was allowed to attend. But currently, this person's grave is unmarked. He's in an unmarked grave. He was buried 2.5 meters below the ground. So 2.5 meters, obviously, as opposed to the normal 6 feet grave. He was anonymously, a source told Erongo, that he was injected with a substance to break down his body very quickly, so that obviously he could not carry on COVID-19 for as long. So these patients are placed in bags, not a coffin, in bags, and they are put in this 2.5 meter grave, and then they are buried there. And there is a fence around it to keep the public and animals and things like that out. So there is that, and we also have heard complaints of people complaining about the specific location and why that specific location was chosen. But the truth is that this is the best fit. Number one, because it was already earmarked to become a burial site. Number two, in town they would have struck water. The other burial sites are full. This is just, according to the Walvis Bay mayor, Walvis Bay, this is just the best place to bury this person. So we hope, our hearts are with the family in this time, and we hope that they can find peace in this time of mourning. So then we move on to something that is a little bit more fun. So Sally Saban wrote a book called Sandwich Harbour, Our Beautiful Coastline. Look at that, it is beautiful. So this is his second book. So he starts from Oranjemund, and then he tells the stories and he tells the histories and he tells all the lekker things about Sandwich Harbour and the Namibian coastline. And then he starts from Oranjemund and he moves up to Walvis Bay. Then in another leisure story, a lot of musicians, especially centered in Walvis Bay and the Erongo region, have band together and made a CD called The Music Rescue Namibia. So this is basically, in the time of the pandemic, musicians especially were struggling because a lot of the Namibian musicians find their income mainly from festivals and performances, and they couldn't do that in the time of the pandemic. So a lot of them gave one song, it all got cut into a CD, and it was sponsored by a company called Tefco. It's a security company. So the owner of the company says that his son Corneille had this idea because he's friends with a lot of the local musicians and he wanted to find a way to help them, and thus he got Tefco involved and they sponsored the CD. Currently 2,000 CDs were made, but we are hearing that there is quite a high demand and it's likely that another 1,000 will be made. So that is all for your news today.
Hoe kan ons jou help? Goedemiddag mevrou, welkom terug by DT Motors. Hier is die motor se sleutel. As alles goed verloop, sien ons jou oor 10,000 kilos.
Hi everyone, this is Monique English. I am your number 2017 Female Artist of the Year, and I am one of your judges for Voice Perfect Namibia. I am excited, I'm ecstatic that I have been chosen for one of the judges out of 1,000 maybe, Namibian artists that could have been judges. So for me, it's an honor, and I know how much talent Namibia has. So for me, being part of finding that kind of talent in Namibia is kind of exciting. Okay, Voice Perfect Namibia, the name speaks for itself. We are looking for a perfectly talented voiced, I guess, artist. So it's basically a singing competition which we are broadcasting online because of the pandemic that we are in at the moment. I have participated in a few local talent shows. So for me, this is one of the reasons why I'm so excited to be part of Voice Perfect Namibia, because I have been judged a lot and I know what people expect and I know what I expect as a judge and as an artist. So it helped me grow as an artist, definitely, regarding criticism or whatever people have told me that I can do better in or where I can grow. So I have taken all of that to heart, and I advise that whenever someone gives you criticism, that you do take it to heart and that you do try and better yourself in that aspect. So yeah, it's just, criticism really helps sometimes. It can break you down depending on how you take it. So yeah, I would say that has probably helped me the most, seeing that I did participate in competitions. Well, it's a singing competition, so I'm expecting someone that can sing, so I'm looking at all aspects of the singing, like me as an artist or as a singer myself. I do know what I should do to sound good, or it's whether it's breath or whether it's control or whether it's stage presence. So all of that really makes kind of a full package of what you should have as a singer and as a performer. So I'm basically I'm looking for the full package. I think competitions do have an impact on the Namibian music industry, especially I kind of came from competitions, participating in competitions. Same with Chikune, same with Ann Singer. Yeah, there are a few artists that I know that took part in competitions before we actually became part of the Namibian music industry platform. So it does give you a chance. People get to know you, people get to know your talent, people get to see you, and yeah, so I think it really music or singing competitions really does have an impact on your, you know, your talent or whatever, or your music career in the Namibian music industry. If you guys would like to join us on Voice Perfect Namibia, or if you would like to follow the competition, they are available on Facebook, Instagram and YouTube. Just search for Voice Perfect Namibia. You can also look through my profile on Instagram or on Facebook, which is Monique English on Facebook, Monique English the singer on Instagram. And yeah, you can follow them there, and I hope you guys will join us. Thank you. Hi everyone, this is Monique English. I am your number 2017 Female Artist of the Year.
Good day, Kukuvi, how are you?
Good, man.
You're doing well?
Yeah.
All right.
How are you?
I'm doing well. You just made it recently, that is to the Voice Perfect Namibia Top 100.
Exactly.
Right. Tell me more about how you came about becoming an artist, your journey as an artist.
Well, very funny story that there's a friend of mine, brother, that wanted a song.
Yeah.
He asked for a song, and then, you know, it was very shocking. Like I had no idea where to start. And then I asked one of these other guys from church at the time to hook me up with an instrumental that I can just work with.
Yeah.
And then I composed my first lyrics ever, titled "You Are."
You Are.
And then I just, after that, immediately I got another song. I was just humming to it, and then I found myself composing more songs, and that was in 2008. So over the years, I've been writing music, whatever I'm thinking about, you know, my personal devotion with God. I'm spiritual like that. Yeah, and it just got me to actually recognize what kind of gift and you know, the talent that I possess.
So basically,
In
God gave you, actually music discovered you through God.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
Right.
it really did.
And like we said earlier, you have also been taking part in the Voice Perfect Namibia. And how did you find out about this competition?
Well, I found that out from a friend. I mean, hence the name Voice Perfect. I thought you needed to be perfect to be, you know, to enter and whatnot.
Yeah.
You know, but I took a gamble. I decided, you know, you can sing. I love music.
Yeah.
And I shot my shot. To my amazement, I got chosen. They gave me the golden ticket as a confirmation that I did make it through. And I think at the time we were about over 170, 80 contestants, and then it's so far it has been a remarkable journey. There's a lot of talent in Namibia. Wow,
Unbelievable.
The guys are unbelievable. Like,
and you are one of them.
I'm one of them.
You are now even in the top 100.
I'm just enjoying the journey, man. This is it's too good to be true, really.
Too good to be true. You're enjoying it.
I'm enjoying it. Yeah.
While it is.
Exactly.
So, and now you've been chosen in the top 100.
Yeah.
Tell me about the name Kukuvi. How did it come about?
Well, I'm a Shwambo speaking person. So when we were growing up, you know, we always called. I think there's a lot of names, you know, what you call your grandfather or your grandmother, especially when we came from. Gam Gam is one of those. Oma, I guess. But then in Shwambo, we used to call our grandparents. It's a title called like Kuku. Either for my grandfather or my grandmother. Yes. But the correct one would be Tatekulu for grandfather, Memekulu for grandmother. And Kuku was just kind of slang in a way. So I'm named after my grandfather. He was Viktor. And then I just Kukuvi.
Just to honor him.
Yeah, just to honor him. I guess it's my namesake.
And you're saying now, how do you feel being in the top 100?
Well, it's I'm learning a lot that I didn't know, especially where music is concerned.
Yeah.
And it's really intense. Like the amount of time that you'll probably be given to now kind of deliver, like present. And since we're on this lockdown thing, this thing is all online.
Yeah.
We're doing it online. And I think the beauty of that is that you have a lot of room to work with. You can mess up and you can still correct all those things as opposed to a live concert. But having said that, it's just an eye opener for me in like where the music industry is at, and discovering all the talents and maybe things that I also didn't know about myself, which is really like a propeller, putting me up on that next level. And I'm grateful for that. I'm really grateful for that. I feel happy, and I'm just making every day count, every second count in this year.
And you're saying it's propelling you as well.
Yeah.
And in what way is it like enhancing your career? Since you say that you started in 2008, how is it pushing you even further as a singer?
Well, first of all, I just gotta hand it to the Voice Perfect team. Putting up the judges. They are renowned world Namibian and world artists. So this is a platform for many of us that are not known in the country or beyond our borders, and it gives us that stepping stone to be known and to be out there. Whether we have stage frights, we can overcome that. The shyness and everything else. It's also character building in a sense, which is a really good platform to just make us known to the public.
And the critique obviously also helps
exactly
grow in your voice.
I think that's gotta be one of the toughest things to handle. But critic, whether it's good or bad, it should be positive. It should be
help you.
It's there to help you, exactly.
All right.
Yeah.
What is your last word for the people watching out there?
If you have a dream, don't hesitate. Run with it. Whatever it is, I believe that every person has been given a gift.
Yes.
They carry something in them that we all need to really think and discover what that thing is that God has blessed you with. I was blessed enough to recognize that, and then I'm just running with it. So I do encourage everybody that's out there, whatever gift you do have, it might not be singing, it might be acting, it might be anything, but just don't give up. Pursue that. You're gonna fail a lot. I'm failing right now, but the thing is that you don't give up on your dream, and that's what I'm intending to do right now. This is a dream come true in itself as well.
It's a dream, and use your talents to enhance other people and your society around you.
Because you never know who you inspire.
Exactly.
I might be inspiring any random person that's out there that's like, I want to be like that guy. I want to be like Kukuvi. And then
that's what it is.
If I was shy and not being able to step out as well, and then I would have
let those people down.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, so true.
All right. Thank you very much for having spent your time with us here on Erongo Talk.
Thank you.
And we'll keep in touch with you as well.
Thank you so much.
All right. So that was Kukuvi, an artist and a participant in Voice Perfect Namibia. Keep on watching Erongo Talk. We'll be back right after this.
For many locals, these 15 blocks of concrete have a magnificent story. Nestled along the Swakopmund coastline, these huge structures lie right at the mouth of the Swakop River. Surprisingly, many moons ago, more specifically 1928, these blocks were the supporting structure of a railway line. However, it lived a short life when floods in the early 1930s were the cause of its quick destruction. Our coastal towns have rich history just waiting for us to tell their stories. Erongo Talk, our community, your stories.
And now for your upcoming events. Firstly, Destination Swakopmund, in conjunction with the Namibia Blood Transfusion Services, will host a blood drive at Plaza Meer in front of Crazy Stores on Friday the 30th of July from 10 o'clock to 3 o'clock. 10 o'clock in the morning, 3 o'clock in the afternoon. So secondly, Future Female Swakopmund will have a workshop titled Introduction to Entrepreneurship on Saturday the 18th of July. The workshop will take place via Zoom from 2 o'clock to 3:30 in the afternoon. Tickets are available for $65 each at web tickets and pick and pay shops nationwide. Thirdly, Swakopmund Toastmasters Club will have a meeting on Monday, the 20th of July 2020 at 6 o'clock for 6:30. The meeting will take place via Zoom. The theme for the event is Hope for Better. Interested parties are requested to click on a registration link and register. That's your upcoming events.
Hey guys, I'm Cesar Pronk. I'm a Namibian karate athlete and I enjoy watching Erongo Talk.
So now for today's weather and tides, as well as weather predictions for this weekend. So the coastal town saw low tide at about 10 minutes past 7 this morning and is expecting high tide at 20 minutes to 2 this afternoon. Low tide is expected again at 20 minutes past 7 tonight, and high tide expected at 20 minutes to 2 tomorrow. Walvis Bay saw sunrise at 42 minutes past 7 this morning and expects sunset at 35 minutes past 6 tonight. A maximum of 27 degrees Celsius with an easterly wind prevailing for Walvis Bay. For tomorrow, a minimum of 19 degrees and a maximum of 27 degrees. A minimum of 19 and a maximum of 29 expected for Sunday in Walvis Bay. Swakopmund saw sunrise at 41 minutes past 7 this morning and expects sunset at 25 minutes to 7 tonight. A maximum of 25 degrees Celsius with a north-northwesterly wind prevailing in Swakopmund. A minimum of 17 degrees Celsius and a maximum of 24 degrees Celsius expected for tomorrow. And for Sunday, a minimum of 19 degrees and a maximum of 26 degrees Celsius expected. Henties Bay saw sunrise at 41 minutes past 7 this morning and expects sunset at 37 minutes past 6 tonight. A maximum of 27 degrees Celsius with a northerly wind prevailing in Henties Bay. For tomorrow, a minimum of 17 degrees and a maximum of 26 degrees Celsius. A minimum of 19 degrees and a maximum of 28 degrees Celsius expected for Sunday. Aranda saw sunrise at 39 minutes past 7 this morning and expects sunset at 34 minutes past 6 tonight. A maximum of 31 degrees Celsius with a northeasterly wind prevailing. A minimum of 16 degrees Celsius and a maximum of 32 degrees Celsius for tomorrow. And for Sunday, a minimum of 17 degrees Celsius and a maximum of 32 degrees Celsius. Usako saw sunrise at 36 minutes past 7 this morning and expects sunset at 32 minutes past 6 tonight. A maximum of 27 degrees Celsius and an northeasterly wind prevailing in Usakos. A minimum of 8 degrees and a maximum of 28 degrees expected for Saturday and Sunday, but on Sunday the minimum is 11, the maximum of 28. Karibib saw sunrise at 35 minutes past 7 and sunset expected at 31 minutes past 6 tonight. A maximum of 25 degrees Celsius with a northeasterly wind prevailing. A minimum of 7 degrees Celsius and a maximum of 26 degrees Celsius. On Sunday, the maximum will also be 26 degrees Celsius with a minimum of 9 degrees Celsius. Last but definitely not least, Omaruru saw sunrise at 33 minutes past 7 7 this morning, and expect sunset at 32 minutes past 6 tonight. A maximum of 24 degrees Celsius with an east-northeasterly wind prevailing. A minimum of 4 degrees and a maximum of 26 degrees Celsius. And again, your maximum for Sunday in Omaruru is also 26 degrees Celsius with a minimum of 8 degrees Celsius. And that is your weather and tides for today and this weekend. So that's all for today's show. Before Joharetha joins us to kick off the weekend, remember that you can check out the stories we discussed earlier and much more at www.erongo.com.na. I'll repeat, www.erongo.com.na. You can also join us on social media. We have a family of almost 50,000 Facebook followers, so you feel free to join there. We also have Instagram and Twitter. Feel free to follow us on those platforms. If you want to get in contact with us for advertisement opportunities or just to send us a news tip, you can send that to 0811 7040. That's 0811 7040. For the weekend, until we see you on Monday, please remember to stay safe, stay healthy, sanitize your hands, wear your masks, wear your gloves, maintain social distancing. We'll see you again next week. So for now, I'm going to kick off the weekend in style. We'll see you next week.
Ek bely met my mond, en glo met my hart, voel met my siel. Gees en verstand, die jy my kom red het, toe ek verdwaal het, jy was nog altyd daar. Gal op jou kruis, saam my die pad, maar ons wat vast is, staan op en stap, saam met die hartreis, sit net die swaard, beklei vir liefde, beklei vir jou maat, vou jou hande toe saam my, kom ons sak op ons knie, en vra het God ons sal lei. Ek sal nou luister, myself vir die geer, 4 dae vir jou bid tot jy terugkeer, het liefde en water, sal ons hier bring, tot ek jou weer vind, en niks het bestaan sonder jou nie, en niks wat ek voel ek sonder jou nie, en niks wat ek glo ek, as ek nie sonder jou kan wees nie, vou jou hande toe saam my, kom ons sak op ons knie, en vra het God ons sal lei. Ek sal nou luister, myself vir die geer, 4 dae vir jou bid tot jy terugkeer, het liefde en water, sal ons hier bring, tot ek jou weer vind, tot ek jou weer vind. 70 sal jy my vergewe, tot die dood ons skei, ek is lief vir jou.